What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. I want to do my monthly NBA awards today. Let's go. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoy the video. We're going to start it off with the smaller awards, the ones that less people care about, kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. We're going to start off with Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year is an easy pick. It is JB Bickerstaff of the Detroit Pistons. Jaden Ivey has yet to play this season. Malik Beasley from last season, who was their second best scorer, is now gone. Cade Cunningham has missed 3 games. Asar Thompson has missed 4 games. Tobias Harris has only played 6 games this year. Karis LeVert has missed 5 games. They have been consistently relying on Jalen Duren to be their second leading scorer most nights. Dennis Jenkins, who is looking like a future piece, by the way. Dennis Jenkins out here making Jaden Ivey look almost expendable, I can't lie. And then there's Chaz Lanier. I did not know who Chaz Lanier was before the season. He's the best Lanier in Pistons history. A little bit of humor in there. But either way, they have these guys, a bunch of starters, missing a ton of time. And yet they're first in the East. They have the second best record in the league. JB Bickerstaff is by far the Coach of the Year. He's gotten the most out of Jalen Duren, who has become a short roll demon for Cade Cunningham out of the pick and roll. He has Dennis Jenkins playing like a future backcourt partner for Cade Cunningham. He's got Chaz Lanier hitting shot. Duncan Robinson's playing really well for them. A bunch of guys have bought into JB Bickerstaff's mentality, his defense, everything, the way their offense plays. They're bought in. JB Bickerstaff got these guys to completely buy in. They look like a really, really unstoppable team considering the fact that they've missed starters for a majority of the season, and yet they still have the best record in the East, and it's not even close. Cade Cunningham a big part of that? Absolutely. But JB Bickerstaff is still leading the charge as a coach. It's a real pleasure to see because he's a coach that over the last few years has kind of gotten screwed in a way, I guess. Like the Cavaliers moved on from him in favor of Kenny Atkinson, and I forget where he was before that, maybe Memphis or something. I always felt like he was a decent coach that kind of just got passed up on, and now Detroit has him, and it's really paying off for them. He's done a really good job at flipping this entire franchise around, him and Cade Cunningham right at the top of it. I appreciate what JB Bickerstaff's done. Best record in the East. It's not even close. JB Bickerstaff is your Coach of the Year. Clutch Player of the Year, I have Nikola Vucevic. Yeah, some people are like, Shea, all these all-stars, all NBA guys. Nah, give me Nikola Vucevic. Last night, he hit his second buzzer 3 of the season, number 2 already, and plus just a few days before, he had a clutch 3 against Denver to make it a 4-point lead with 30 seconds left and basically seal the game. Nikola Vucevic has hit some very big shots this season for the Bulls, who have been called the Cardiac Bulls, and I agree, they play a ton of close games, they always get clutch opportunities, and it seems like that pick-and-pop game between Giddey and Vooch has just always seemed to work. Vooch comes, sets that screen, Giddey gets downhill, that center has to crash down low, and all of a sudden Nikola Vucevic is wide open for a catch-and-shoot 3 opportunity, and he has cashed out this season. I know he's over 40% on the season. He's played really well down the stretch. He kind of helped blow that game last night against Portland, albeit, but you hit the game-winning 3. I guess all's forgiven. I'm giving Nikola Vucevic Clutch Player of the Year. It's not a serious award, especially only 15 games in. So relax if you're like a Shea fan and wanted him to win. It's 15 games in, relax. I'm giving it to Vooch. He's hit 2 buzzer beaters. Nobody else has done that. At the beginning of the season, I had Vooch as, I believe, a top 15 center in basketball. Some thought I was a little bit crazy, thought I was overrating Vooch. But I see the offensive upside there. Again, a big man shooting 40+% from 3 is very impressive, and he's become a really good pick-and-roll partner for a lot of guys on that team. And he makes it a lot easier for guys like Giddey and Kobe to get downhill because he spaces the floor well. Nikola Vucevic, Clutch Player of the Year. I'm happy to see he's having a terrific season in Chicago. On to the more pressing ones, I have Con Kneppel as Rookie of the Year. I know Cooper Flagg's the popular betting favorite, but I can't ignore the fact that Dallas was dumb enough to play him at point guard for the first few games of the season. When Cooper Flagg was playing point guard, it wasn't a pretty experiment. Let's just agree on that. It wasn't a pretty experiment. He is not a great passer at this exact point in time. He is a scorer at best right now. When he moved over back to small forward and was allowed to shoot more and be more of a scoring threat, he stepped up. You know who hasn't had any adjustment period and has just looked great? Con Kneppel from Charlotte. Came into the league, I think we all knew and felt like he was a very high floor rookie, but the ceiling wasn't very clear there. We all thought, all right, great 3-and-D guy, a real good shooter, and a plus defender. Well, now I'm looking at it and I'm going, where is the ceiling? It's higher than I thought. Currently on the season, he's averaging 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists per game. pretty damn good, 18 a game as a rookie, on 47 from the field, 40 from 3, and 88 from the free throw line splits, plus pretty decent defense and some shot making off the dribble. Again, I knew he could catch and shoot. I did not know he could create coming around screens like he has so far, and hitting mid-range shots is another plus I just didn't really anticipate. Plus, like I said, pretty good defense. He's in the 93rd percentile for positional rim defense. Again, that's really impressive considering he is not all too athletic, but he does have some good size, and he does have good shot blocking timing. He's also in the 62nd percentile for deflections. He has been a plus defender for even his collegiate career. Now he's come to the NBA, and it seems as if he knows his role next to LaMelo Ball. Find my way open for 3 and play good defense. He's done both. And when LaMelo Ball hasn't played, he's shown a higher upside. When LaMelo Ball was on a minutes restriction against the Bucks, guess who had their best game of their career? Kon Kneppel. In terms of points per shot attempt, Kon is in the 78th percentile. That includes he is shooting 53% in the mid-range and 44% on corner threes. He's been ultra efficient to start his career, and it's really nice to see considering I had a little bit of a panic about him coming into the season, because in Summer League he was not very efficient. He was not very good in Summer League. He's flipped it around and kind of flipped the script on us here in his rookie season. I'd say the only thing he's really missing in his game right now is rim finishing. He's in like the 30th percentile in rim finishing, so he doesn't finish well around the rim. He doesn't take a ton of those opportunities though, but at the same time, he doesn't really need to. He's got a good player on his team and a good playmaker on his team in LaMelo Ball who can get him open looks from 3, and he can just be a mad bomber from outside. Shooting super efficiently, playing pretty good defense. On top of that, he has 7 games this season with 20-plus points. Currently, the betting favorite to win Rookie of the Year is still Cooper Flagg, and I agree it should be Cooper Flagg long-term because Dallas has moved him back to a more natural-fitting position for him. Cooper Flagg can become a good playmaker, but as for right now, he's not, and he should not be forced into doing it. However, he has not had 7 games of 20-plus points. Cooper Flagg has only had 4. Kon has 7 of 20-plus. That's just super impressive. For a Charlotte Hornets team that record-wise has not been very good, but if you watch their games, you can tell they are super competitive and getting better every game. Kon Kneppel's a big reason why. For 6th man of the year, I have Jaime Jaquez. He's currently averaging 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists per game with less than 2 turnovers per game, so better than a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio for a guy who's never really been an elite passer, and plus he's also been great defensively. The Heat have been playing a very fast-paced offense this season if you haven't been watching. They love to get up and down the court, and they love to score as much as possible, and it works best with Jaime Jaquez on the court because in transition, he's going to get downhill, he's going to get in the lane. He's currently shooting 57% on 2s this season, 51% overall from the field this year. He's been super efficient, but again, what I like most about his game is the fact that he's getting downhill. You get 2 feet in the paint, you make the defense collapse in on you, and then you can spray out. But most of the time, he likes to find the drop-off big man down in the dunker spot. He's done that very well with Kel'el Ware. I thought it was weird that he's still not starting, but it makes sense considering his play style is getting downhill. And they kind of already have a couple of guys, good wings, in their starting lineup, especially when Tyler Hero's healthy. He'll be playing the 2. Then they'll have Andrew Wiggins still. Simone Fontecchio has played really well. The Miami Heat defense is currently 19 points per 100 possessions better with Jaime Jaquez on the floor. And again, I think that's very impressive alone, but I think it's even crazier when you look at his lineup that he's most played with, his most frequent lineup played with. It has Simone Fontecchio at center. He has proven to be a defensive plus in a lineup with Simone Fontecchio at center. That's just unreal. Jaquez is shown to be a very versatile ball handler coming off screens or just getting downhill. That's the name of his game, is getting downhill, getting 2 feet in the paint and finishing around the rim. As long as he can finish well around the rim this season, he's going to be a really tough player to stop because he is very big and his passing ability has just become unreal. It's not something I expected. 5 assists per game is not numbers I expected from Jaime Jaquez. I made a video the other day talking about some guys who are having very low-key, under-the-radar great seasons. Jaime Jaquez was one of them. I'd recommend that video down below. It is my last video on the channel. Go check it out. Moving over to Defensive Player of the Year, I have Wembanyama. It's Victor Wembanyama. I know he's only played 12 games, but the Spurs have only played 14 as a team right now, so he's played 12 of 14 games. That's a good enough ratio for me. I know he's going to miss time, so technically I shouldn't put him because he's going to miss 2-3 weeks, whatever. But as for right now, we're 14 games in. He's played 12. Good enough for me, gets the green light. Wemby leads the league in blocks, over 3.5 per game still. For his career, he averages over 3.5 per game, while still averaging over 1 steal per game as well. He's also in the 90th percentile in deflections, 91st percentile in rim defense, 100th percentile in block rate, 99th percentile in crafted defensive plus minus, 97th percentile in opponent points per 100 possessions. Wemby is undoubtedly the best defensive player in basketball, and I don't even think it's really close. I think there's some guys that maybe can make arguments for the award, i.e. Evan Mobley. I was really going to try and make an Evan Mobley argument today, but if you watched the game against the Rockets last night, you would know that Evan Mobley was getting deep fried by Alperen Sengun down the stretch of that game, and then I was like, all right, I'm just not going to give it to him after that. Wemby's the best defensive weapon in basketball. You hardly ever hear that, a defensive weapon. This is a guy who defends the rim at a level of Rudy Gobert while still being able to switch onto the perimeter and guard some wings and forwards and make them very uncomfortable. He's had good defensive possessions against guards like Steph Curry before, and I know Curry's made some tough shots over him. But Wemby still, the fact that he's making it a tough shot against a 6'2" point guard that's one of the best dribblers of all time is just impressive. Yes, like I said, he's going to miss time with this calf injury, but as of now, 12 of 14 games is good enough for me. And on top of that, he could have definitely won it last year, but I don't think he met the criteria for games played. I think he's the defensive player of the year this year, and it's not even really close. If you have any other notable mentions, put them down below, honorable mentions, but overall, I just think everyone else is competing for second place as long as Victor Wembanyama's healthy. The most improved player, I have Ryan Rollins from the Milwaukee Bucks. Over his first 3 seasons in the NBA, Ryan Rollins averaged 5 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1 assist per game. This season, he's currently averaging 17.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. His career averages before this were 5, 1, and 1, and then it goes up to 17.5, 5, and 4. Everything multiplied. I know there's a couple of guys who are also in contention for 6th Man of the Year that I just don't agree with. I think it should go to a guy who was not... I mean, Ryan Rollins was on the fringe of the NBA. Let's be honest with each other here. Ryan Rollins was, I believe, let go by like the Warriors. The Wizards drafted him and didn't want him. I know he had some off-the-court stuff, but this guy was on the fringe of the NBA and managed to find his way into a starting lineup full-time. Not only in the starting lineup, averaging almost 18 a game. He's also shooting 51 from the field, 46 from 3, and 78 from the free throw line while taking over 5 threes per game and 13 total. The offense runs through him when Giannis isn't on the floor. He's maybe their best weapon outside of Giannis offensively this season. The Bucks' offense is 10 points per 100 possessions better with Ryan Rollins on the floor. Again, this is a guy who's also averaging almost 2 steals per game as well. He plucked somebody in the backcourt not too long ago. It might have been against the Lakers. And he just does things that I'm impressed with. I've never seen a guy like this just completely explode overnight. It's been a little bit. You know, he's kind of like in the Aaron Brooks tier right now, or CJ McCollum even. Where he was not really a feature player, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's in the opponent's game plan. When people play the Bucks, they gotta know who Ryan Rollins is. I think this even works better for Ryan Rollins too, selfishly, because Giannis is injured with a groin injury. He's gonna be down for at least 1 to 2 weeks at least. Ryan Rollins' numbers should even go up in that time. He's gonna get more opportunities. I don't think anybody on that team should be taking the ball out of his hands. Get out of here with that Kevin Porter Jr. Get out of here with that Cole Anthony. No more Bobby Portis touches. The offense should run through Ryan Rollins while Giannis is out, and I don't think anybody else even deserves a chance. Coming into the year, the Bucks were at a very uncertain backcourt. It was going to be AJ Green and somebody else, Gary Trent Jr. and somebody else. The point guard position was always a question mark. Now you have Ryan Rollins there, and it feels like, oh, we just found our point guard of the future. He just so happened to walk in the door. I don't know if it was some mentorship from Dame last season. I don't know if he's always been this good and just wasn't given opportunity. I don't know. But either way, when you go from averaging 5 to 17.5 in 1 season, I think you deserve most improved player. You literally tripled your career point total. Lastly, we have MVP. I have Big Yoke. Nikola Jokic is currently averaging 29, 11, and 13 rebounds. He's averaging a triple-double with almost 30 points per game while leading the league in assists and rebounding. He's averaging 1.7 steals per game and almost a block per game to boot with that. Jokic does not have the reputation as a good defender, but he has good hands, and he can he's good at stealing the ball and poking it free. That's basically what Jokic is good at. He's not really a good rim contester, but he is a very talented player when it comes to getting in passing lanes, and just using his hands very well. Jokic is in the 99th percentile in points per 100 possessions. The Nuggets' effective field goal percentage is 8% better with Nikola Jokic on the floor. That's just the easy looks he gives them. He spoon feeds a lot of guys on that team, man. They won a game the other day, and P. Watt had 5 threes, and I swear to God, at least 3 to 4 of them came directly off Nikola Jokic, just dropping it right in the bucket. By the way, he's averaging 11 assists per game. As I said, that leads basketball, and he's only averaging 3.5 turnovers per game as well. He's a very efficient passer and a very efficient scorer. His scoring splits, 64 from the field, 40 from 3 and 86 from the line, 79% at the rim, 69% in the mid-range. He's efficient from everywhere. Basically, no matter where Nikola Jokic shoots the ball from, you should expect it to go in. This is simply the best player on earth. No disrespect to Shea, Giannis, Wemby, none of those guys, but none of them are touching Nikola Jokic. Since the start of November, Nikola Jokic is averaging a 34-point triple-double. 34-point triple-double. Do you know how unreal that is? I can't quantify it. He's doing stuff that only Wilt did. And that's the only way you can really talk about it. You have to put him in the presence of like Wilt and Kareem at this point. The guy's up with the all-time greats, and he should be winning another MVP. Last season, a big knock was that the Nuggets were up and down, very up and down as a team. This year, they're not. They have 3 losses. They're second in the West. The front office finally put a good supporting cast around Nikola Jokic, adding back Bruce Brown, bringing in Tim Hardaway Jr., getting a backup center in Valanciunas, even though he's been kind of mid sometimes. The front office built a good supporting cast around him. Nikola Jokic is paying that off very well. I mean, Cam Johnson hasn't even started playing very well yet, but even then, again, that 11 assists could quickly turn into 12 or 13 if his teammates start hitting open looks. Nikola Jokic is the MVP. Derek Queen is second. Derek Queen just gave Jokic a hell of a game last night. I love seeing young guys do stuff like that to veterans, kind of do them dirty. And you could tell Jokic was a little bit uncomfortable guarding a guy that played like him. Yeah, how does it feel, Jokic? You finally met a guy that can play like you, slow, methodical, and unorthodox. Yeah, who'd have thought? Of course, Nikola Jokic is the MVP, though. It's fun to see him with a good team around him, and it's fun to see the winning is back in Denver, and we don't have to rely on what-if wins or what-if stats to say Jokic is the MVP. He's the MVP of the league once again, very easily. Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed, you should like, you should subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go catch a game. See you guys in the next one.